It's time for our gentle restorative yoga blend. It's one of my favorite times of the week because it's a time when we can just be instead of having to do much of anything. We're coming into this Independence holiday weekend. I don't know if you have any plans or not. I'm hoping to relax. And what better way to get us ready to relax than with a combination of gentle restorative yoga, just a splash of yin thrown in here and there perhaps. So we'll start in a comfortable seat. I'm on a blanket today. I've got cushions, blankets, pillows, towels, all kinds of stuff I might want to use later for bolstering myself, supporting myself in our restorative practice. I did grab my little strap here. I might need that once or twice, might not. This is a belt. It came with a pair of shorts. I actually bought two pairs of shorts, different colors that came with the exact same belt. So I have two of these. Side note. So, comfortably seated. Just relax your arms, your hands on your thighs. We'll stack the spine. We'll shrug the shoulders up, roll them back and down. Let's lift the sternum. Pressing the crown of the head up toward the ceiling and softly closing our eyes. And today for our breath work, rather than a technique, let's do a visualization. A sort of in with the good air, out with the bad air visualization. As you inhale, drawing in peace, relaxation. As you exhale, breathing out any tension, any cares you might have. Using your inhale to visualize, drawing in vitality, light, whatever feels good or right to you. And exhaling whatever you have that doesn't serve you. Whatever's not making you happy right now, let it go. Breathe in the good. Breathe out the rest. Let those waves of relaxation and light ripple through your body. And together we'll draw a deep inhale through the nose. We'll sigh it out. And we'll seal our lips. We can open our eyes. Now let's grab a knee with each hand. Let's do a gentle cat-cow here. So we'll lift the sternum, arch the back for cow. Exhale, scoop into cat. You can pull on those knees if you like. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to scoop. Working in whatever range of motion feels good today. We may increase our range as we go along with our breath. Mobilizing the spine. Coming back to center. Shifting the rib cage from one side to the other. Pushing the ribs out side to side. And the next time we finish, we'll come back to center. And this time we'll stir the pot. We'll come forward. We'll shift to one side. We'll scoot back. Come to the other side and come back forward. That's one time. Stir the pot. 2 times. Pause at the center, reverse direction. Shifting forward, side, back, and side. Once more. Coming back up, nice and tall. Next we'll take a twist. Today's pose for twists is a half lord of the fishes. Let's bring your right foot across your left leg. Now I'm not stacking my knees down. My right knee is up, my left knee is down. My spine is stacked. I can sweep my right hand behind. I can bring my left arm over. Inhaling tall, exhaling for that gentle twist. Breathing and going deeper as we can, as it is available to us today. Perhaps turning to look over the shoulder. We're staying here for a couple of breaths. And relaxing back to center and switching across. So the right knee is down, the left foot steps over the right leg, the left knee stays up, the left hand sweeps behind. You stack the spine, bring the right arm over. Inhale tall, exhale, take your twist. Each time you inhale, try to lengthen up through the crown of your head. Each time you exhale, perhaps going deeper, perhaps looking over your shoulder. Staying for a couple of breaths. Relaxing back to center. So uncross our legs. Now in honor of Independence Day, I was trying to think what pose could we do. So we'll do eagle arms. I'm coming into a thunderbolt pose sitting on my heels here. You can sit however you like, cross-legged, or you can even stay up on your knees if you prefer that. You could also slide a blanket behind your knees or put towels under your ankles, but we won't be here that long. So 3 options for eagle. Start with the right hand. Option 1, we'll bring it across the opposite shoulder. Left hand, opposite shoulder. Give ourselves a hug. Try to pull the shoulder blades back and open up. Option 2, right hand, left shoulder. Left hand pulls the right arm over, stretching the back of that right shoulder. Option 3, right arm forward, left arm up. We're going to sweep that left arm under that right arm. We can bring the backs of our hands together. We can bring our fingertips to our palm, lifting the elbows, pressing forward. Your choice, whatever eagle arm variation you'd like to do today. And we breathe. Feel the stretch across the back of the shoulders. And release that. Other side. Option 1, left hand, right shoulder, right hand, left shoulder. Hug it in. Option 2, left hand, right shoulder, right hand, pull the left arm over. Option 3, left arm forward, right arm up, sweep it under, bring backs of the hands together or fingertips to palm, lifting elbows, pressing out. Feeling the stretch across the backs of our shoulders, and breathing. Release it. Take a breath. Let's roll onto our backs for a moment. We can either grab one thigh and roll ourselves down with control, or we can sit up tall, extend our arms, and tuck the tailbone, and come down. Bend our knees, plant our feet. Let's cross the left leg over the right. Drop our legs to the right. We can bring our arms out. Turning our head to the left. Getting a nice spinal twist here. Just stay here for a couple of breaths. Now we're going to add a variation here called cattail. This is where you might want to use a strap or a belt. I'm going to roll onto my side a little bit more. I'm going to bring that right foot up and try to grab with my left hand. If I cannot reach that foot, I can wrap my strap around it, bring it under, and pull it this way. So I've got, as I'm set up, my left foot over across my right thigh and planted, my right leg coming under, and my left hand coming to my right foot. Getting a nice opening in the quads and hip flexors here. And breathing. And relaxing. Come back to center. We'll just windshield wiper those knees a little bit. Coming back to center. I'm crossing my right leg over my left this time. And dropping my knees to the left. Keeping my shoulders down. Turning my head to the right. Spinal twist for a couple of breaths. Now I can bring my right hand to grab my left foot, or if I need to use my strap, I can draw my knees in, strap around the left ankle, grabbing in the right hand under the thigh, plant the right foot over, pull the left leg open, stretching quads and hips here. Cat tail. Breathe and settle in. Let's relax. Let's uncross. Plant our feet. Windshield wiper the knees. And then roll over onto our hands and knees. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Often use fists for wrists. A couple of cat-cows here, following our own breath. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to scoop. Coming back to stillness, shifting hips from side to side. Coming back to stillness. Barrel roll. Rolling the hips in a circle around and scooping for 3, for 2, for 1, and reverse direction to the side. Scoop it, and get back around for 3, for 2, and 1. Coming back to neutral spine. Now sliding the right foot back, curling the toes under, rocking on the ball of the foot, then floating that right leg up, extending the left arm forward for spinal balance. Try to engage your core, work from the middle out to stabilize. Now bending that right leg so the sole of your foot faces the ceiling, reaching back with the left hand, and we grab that right ankle. If we can't, you can just reach, or we can grab a strap and use the strap if we'd like to do that. Releasing back down. A couple of cat-cows. Coming back to stillness. Sliding the left foot back, curling the toes under, rocking on the ball of the feet. Coming to stillness, floating up, extending the right arm forward, working from the core out. Now bending that left knee, reaching back with the right hand, trying to grab the foot or ankle, using the strap if we like, or just reaching, trying to open up the hip. Breathe. And releasing back down, cat-cow. Now, coming back to stillness, we can slide our hands forward. Let the forehead come down. We're stacking our hips over our knees this time. We're melting heart. There's an option here to walk your hands wider apart. You can also rest your head on a blanket or towel for comfort. Just try to feel the expansion in the front of your body. Using breath to open those ribs. Now let's take the right hand and slide it under the left arm, still keeping our chest facing down. So we're threading the needle, but without a rotation, just getting a nice shoulder stretch here. Just breathe and settle into it. Now bringing that right arm back forward. Take a breath or two. And then sliding the left hand under the right arm, still keeping the chest facing down, threading the needle to stretch the shoulder. Settle, sink, and breathe. Now bringing that left hand back forward. Let's just take 2 or 3 breaths here. And then we can begin to walk our hands in, bringing ourselves back up. Shifting the hips back. Let's take a breath. Let's have a seat again, perhaps on a blanket. Come to a wide leg pose here. Now let's bring your left foot to your right inner thigh. We're going to do a head to knee, but we're doing it sideways today, not forward. You're welcome to use a strap if you want to wrap it around the ball of your foot. Or we can just stack the spine to start. Inhale, lift, find that length. And then we'll slide that right hand out. Trying to keep the body turned, open, spiraling the chest toward the ceiling. Perhaps we're going to grab the arch, perhaps we're going to grab the toe, perhaps we're going to grab the shin, perhaps we're going to drop our elbow down farther and grab the heel. And we're going to wrap the left hand behind as an option. Roll that shoulder back. So we're getting a nice hamstring stretch in the right leg, and a nice side stretch here in the left side. Now don't go any place where this is too uncomfortable or painful, because we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. And as you finish that last breath, Rise slowly, stacking the spine. Let's bring the left leg back out and the right foot to the left thigh. Start with an inhale, lifting nice and tall. Exhale, we'll just slide that hand down. You might just come to your shin, that's fine. You might grab your arch or your toe. You might drop your elbow lower, grab your heel. Option to route that right hand behind the back in a half bind, roll that shoulder. Try to spiral the chest up toward the ceiling. Again, find a place you can hang out for about 5 breaths. And as you finish that last breath, sit up. And we'll sit up, bringing the soles of our feet together. A butterfly. We can grab the ankles, we can stack the spine. We can press the chest forward. Keeping length in the spine, keeping lift in the sternum. Bringing elbows down perhaps to the inner thighs. Opening these hips, because we'll need these hips open for our next pose. Somebody's not happy today. Well, we'll just carry on. All right. Let's just shake out those legs. I'll go back and add music later. Moving into our more restorative portion of the class, I'm going to start with a pigeon pose. So for pigeon, you'll need 2 cushions or bolsters and maybe some extra padding. We're going to sit on one to start. Now, let's take the right leg back first. So we're sitting horizontally here on the bolster with our left leg forward and over, not completely parallel necessarily to the front edge of your mat, but bent wherever you're comfortable, sinking our hips, walking that right leg back as much as possible, trying to square our hips. Now we can come forward. I'm going to put a block here. And pillow or cushion. Again, I can use more blankets. I can use whatever I need to get enough height here that I can lean forward and sink down into my pigeon pose. I can turn my head either direction, and I'm not going to tell you to change the turn of your head because when we switch sides, we'll switch the turn of our head down. So turn your head whichever way is comfortable, or just put your forehead down. Then we're opening our hips, so we're just breathing and sinking. planting our hand. Press ourselves up. Bring the right leg forward. Come back to our seat. Swing the left leg back. Walk it back as much as we need to find that right alignment of our hips. Trying to square up. And settling back down. Breathing. Perhaps think about letting your shoulders soften, shoulder blades slide down. Just feel the grounding and sinking. And once again, bringing our hands down to the floor, we can press ourselves up. Bring that back leg forward. Deep breath. Our next restorative pose is restorative crocodile makarasana, which is like shavasana but on your stomach. You can do this with no propping or bolstering at all. I like to add the belly press to it. So I'm going to use a kind of flat pillow for that, I think. I also like to put something down under my head so my face is on the floor. And there's an option here to put a bolster or a rolled up blanket under your ankles. Since my bolster is right here, I'm going to use that. So, when I lie down, I want this, if I'm using the belly press, under my belly and my hips. I can stack my hands and rest my forehead on my hands. I could also grab my opposite elbows, like I'm doing a ragdoll, and rest my head on my forearms. If I'm not using a bolster for my ankles, I want my feet turned out. So maybe not as wide as my legs are around the bolster, but feet turned out. So whatever we're doing, we're just sinking here. And down and down. We may want to roll to one side and then press ourselves up from there. Take a breath. Let's spin ourselves around now, and we'll do a supine pose, more heart opening. Let's do a supported bridge today. So, you'll want a bolster or cushion that will slide under our hips when we're in our bridge position to support us. You may want something for your neck or for your shoulders. Be careful of putting something under your head without lifting your shoulders and neck also, because you don't want to crunch your head when your shoulders come up. So if you want to cushion your head, cushion your shoulders as well so they're both raised off the floor and you're not going to crunch your neck. I also like, for bridge poses that I'm holding, I like to put a strap around my thighs. I can relax better, that my legs aren't going to fall out to the sides. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take the strap. We'll lie back. Feet are fairly close to the back sides here. Heels, ideally you could touch your heels with your fingertips if you brush your hands down. I am going to wrap my strap. Not too tight, just enough that I feel secure. Now, I'm going to lift up into a bridge, and you could use larger or smaller bolsters or pillows. You can find what works best for you. This is a little on the large side, but it's going to be fine for me. I'm going to lift my hips. Just put this under my sacrum. Again, I could pad my shoulders, my neck, my head. Arms can be down to your sides with your palms up or out to the sides. Or if you like, for more sensation, you can sweep your arms overhead as well. I'm going to put a washcloth over my eyes and just open the heart and breathe. If you're not using a strap for your legs, you might move your feet out a little wider than your hips and let your knees just fall inward to support each other that way. Today, for final relaxation, I'm offering either Mountain Brook or Shavasana, or a combination of the two. I'm going to unstrap my legs. And I'm simply going to lift my hips and push my bolster down behind my knees. And I'm all set. If you want to add more bolsters or cushions, you could pad your lower back or your neck to make it more like a mountain brook. Let's just bring our arms to our side or out to our sides with our palms up. We'll close our eyes, perhaps to cover our eyes with a washcloth or eye pillow. And today, let's come back to that idea of breathing in the good, breathing out the bad. Let's imagine that we're breathing in light all the way down to our toes. Feel that energy in your toes. And then feel that light and energy rise up through your body, through your feet, up to your ankles, your calves, your shins, your knees and thighs. Light and energy into your hips, your abdomen, into the chest, out the arms to your fingertips, up the neck to the head, your whole body just filled with vitality and life and energy. And then focus back on that breath again, breathing in peace and relaxation, breathing out any tension, and going deeper into your Shavasana. Whenever we're ready, we can deepen the breath. We can bring movement to our fingers and toes, to our wrists and ankles. If you have a bolster under your knees, you might want to push that out of the way so that we can plant our feet with our knees bent and our feet a little wider than hip width, and windshield wiper those legs from side to side, letting them rise and fall. And eventually coming onto one side, stacking one hip over the other, one shoulder over the other, resting the head on the arm. And then with as much ease as possible, pressing ourselves back up to our comfortable seated position. Let's ground our sits bones, stack the spine, roll the shoulders back and down. Press up to the crown of the head, bringing hands to heart center. I hope you found some relaxation, some calm, a sense of well-being that carries with you into your holiday weekend. Do have a happy Independence Day. Thank you for starting your weekend with me, sharing this practice. Namaste.